Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, we've had an exciting week so far, right? I mean, look at Nvidia. Nvidia, the first $4 trillion company. The first $4 trillion company. Now, I'm kind of an older guy. I remember back in the dot-com days, right? I thought Cisco Systems was going to become the first $1 trillion company. I don't think it ever made it. But today we got all these companies worth $3 trillion, right? Apple, Microsoft, but Nvidia, it's the world's first $4 trillion company. Now, if they can double it again, maybe it'll become 8 trillion, right? It's a possibility, I suppose. But okay, does 4 trillion, is this something that we should watch? Is this going to mark the top of the market? A lot of people say there's still a blow off top. They say that it'll blow off and that Nvidia will lead the charge up to $5 trillion. Now, that's only about 40 more points, right around 160 on the Nvidia stock. It gets up to $200 a share. I mean, that becomes a $5 trillion company. And what's another $1 trillion? That's nothing these days. I mean, right? Look at, okay, talking about $5 trillion, I want to talk about, what is that? The big bankruptcy bill? I mean, big, beautiful bill. Always get that confused. Big, beautiful bill. That's what it's called. All right. So President Donnie, right? I mean, he is a genius. He's one of the smartest people I've ever seen. You see, now here's the thing. This big, beautiful bill, he can take all of Biden's spending habits and leave them in there, right? And he can add an extra $5 trillion. He can add basically a whole Nvidia on, right? He can add another $5 trillion in spending on top of all of Biden's spending. And check this out, check this out. He's going to keep all the tax cuts that he put in, right? He's going to keep those. And then he's going to give you some more tax breaks. And this is beautiful. You know why? Because he's going to grow his way out of the debt problem we got. She's going to add 5 trillion. He's openly admitting that. And believe me, it's going to be a lot more than 5 trillion. 5 trillion, raising the debt ceiling, 5 trillion. Donald won't even be out of office before we blow through that money. That's just how it works, right? I mean, we got very bad spending habits, but growing your way out of this is almost impossible. You see, we're 122% debt to GDP, right? Now, back in the Paul Volcker days, you can grow your way out. We were about 35% back in the 1980s, right? Debt to GDP. But our debt to GDP, 122%. This places a big, big drag on growth, right? You can't grow your way out by printing money. No, you got to actually do something. But Mike, we got AI, we got robotics coming, Tall Mike. We're going to be fabulous. We're going to be fine. The Donald, just ask the Donald. He's going to tell you everything's great. It's a big, beautiful bill signed into, law. Okay, so, and there's some funny stuff in this, right? I mean, you got, first of all, it's going to add to inflation, right? It's going to add to the debt. And the debt's going to add to inflation. Now, how's that work? Well, the debt's going to go up, right? But they're going to lower that interest rate because we can't afford to pay for the debt. If they don't lower the interest rate, we add 5 trillion and they keep the interest rate up here around 4.5%, 5%. Our country's bankrupt. We're bankrupt anyways, but we're really bankrupt if they don't lower it. So they got to lower that, right? So that's going to add to inflation. So the price of things like automobiles are going to go up. But don't worry, don't worry. You can finance the automobiles, and with the big, beautiful bill, you can write off all the interest on their payments. All the interest is tax deductible now for cars. Isn't that great? Because you know what? A car loan is really like a mortgage nowadays, right? $50,000 mortgage, just think of it. That's what people get. Some of them get $100,000 mortgages on their car, but now they can deduct the interest rates. That's fabulous, right? And there's some funny stuff. I mean, I didn't read through the whole thing. I just read parts of the big, beautiful bill, but there's some interesting stuff in here. I mean, it's almost 1,000 pages long, but hey, the one that, I mean, there's things in here like you wouldn't even think of, like a $2 billion subsidy to the rum industry. Now, I like rum as much as anybody, right? I mean, a little rum tasting, a lot of fun, right? But why do they need a $2 billion subsidy? I don't get it, right? Well, the reason they needed that is because they didn't have the vote from the Republican senator from Louisiana. They had to get the Louisiana vote, so they threw in an extra $2 billion for the rum industry. Look, this is why we're a banana republic. I mean, it's sad, right? It's sad. I mean, it's just when the Donald got in there, he brought Elon along with him, right? I mean, there was a lot of hope. I had a lot of hope, right? I mean, they were talking about cutting $2 trillion out of the budget, right? Now, I knew they couldn't do that, but I thought, well, maybe we'll get lucky and, maybe we'll cut $1 trillion out. No. Maybe like 100 billion. I don't even think we cut 100 billion. But now we're going 5 trillion in the other direction, right? Now that promoted Elon. Elon's going to start the third party, right? The America Party. Now I'm not a big Elon fan either, but I mean, it's like I am for the reduction of government spending, right? And that's what Elon wanted to do. I think Elon had his heart in the right place when he went in there to cut all the wasteful spending that the government does. I don't think he would have let this $2 billion rum subsidy go through. I really don't think that would have happened. But we threw Elon out and we say thumbs up to the big beautiful bill, right? I mean, they should have just called this bill Print Baby Print Bill. Print Baby Print, because that's what we're going to do, right? So we're going to get inflation going up, right? I mean, inflation's just going to go off the charts. You have to protect yourself. Inflation, that's that everything tax, right? They tax every dollar you make is going to be taxed. Inflation, right? Every dollar you have, it's going to lose purchasing power. That's the inflation tax. Every dollar you spend is going to buy less because things are more expensive. It's a tax on everything, right? It's theft. It's grand theft, and it's being perpetuated by these politicians in there. You have to protect yourself. The only way I really know how to do that is with gold, with silver. I think silver is the best buy here. But this is just my take. You got to do you. Maybe you're a Bitcoin person. Maybe that's going to work for you. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm a sound money guy. I'm going with the gold and silver. But this is just fascinating to me. See, we're circling black swans all over the place. Now, the whole market, the whole system probably going to come down. Why is the system going to come down? Well, what's the foundation to the financial system right now? Right now, it's debt, right? I mean, we're a debt-based system, right? You call it the dollar, but what's the dollar? It's really just debt. It's just borrowed money that we printed into existence. It's fugazi, right? We're a debt-based system. Now, in my heart of hearts, I believe that confidence is going to be lost in the debt-based system. You see, when we're paying, right now we're paying over $1 trillion just on the interest on our debt, right? 37 trillion, we're paying over $1 trillion. But that's because we have a lot of it still down here at a 0.5 percentage point. But this is rolling over now. It's rolling over to 5%, right? 4.5, let's call it. All right, so they're going to roll over 9 trillion just this year. It goes from nothing to 4.5%. So that 1 trillion that we're paying on the debt is soon going to be 2 trillion. Now, what happens there? Confidence gets lost, right? I mean, I've already lost confidence. The only reason the dollar has any value is because some people will still take it. But I've completely lost confidence that the dollar will survive this. It will not. It will be going away. But when you get to $2 trillion just in interest, that's half of the money we bring in. Every dollar you pay in taxes, 50 cents goes just to interest. Where's the other 50 cents go? To pay for the entitlements that us baby boomers get, right? I mean, Social Security, Medicare, right? That's all that's left over. I mean, you young people, once again, you got nothing. You're the bag holder, right? You're the slave. You're the one working the system. Maybe a little revolution might be necessary, right? But we're going to be going to $2 trillion just on the interest. Now, that loses confidence in the system, in the debt-based system. Now, how are they going to restore the confidence? Well, you see this right now by the central banks. What are they doing? They're getting out of the dollar, right? The dollar is going like this. It used to be 90% of that reserve, 80, 70, 60. It's almost down to 50% of the reserves of central banks right now. I mean, that's really like the lowest it's ever been, right? I mean, but what are they buying? They're buying gold, right? Because they know that the reset's coming. I don't know what that's going to look like exactly. I can't tell you, but I do realize to get confidence back into the system, they're going to have to put the gold back into the system, right? Now, maybe we have gold, maybe we don't. Fort Knox, nobody talks about that anymore. I'm telling you, they're trying to stock it up as fast as they can. They're taking a lot of deliveries off of the comics. The comics might break, right? Because they don't have the physical gold anymore. A lot of people, this paper gold stuff, the GLD and paper silver, SLV. I mean, there's like, it's a crazy number. Something like 600 ounces of paper silver for every 1 ounce of real silver, and gold is like 200 paper ounces for every 1 ounce of real gold. You see, the real stuff is hard to get. You can get that digital stuff, right? That Bitcoin, that's digital, but you got what? Another million different coins that are all digital. I mean, you got the Trump coin, the Melania coin, man. There was some interesting articles about those. They're called snipers, right? They buy the coin before it is even on the market. This is way too high technology for me, but they sniped $180 million off of the Melania coin. Now, I don't know who was doing this. If I were to guess, I'd say it was Donnie Jr. and his friends, but they went in and made $180 million in less than a week, right? They were dumping all of this as soon as it went onto the marketplace, and they picked up 180 million. Trump coin, the snipers got way more than that. I mean, this is fascinating stuff. So, that Bitcoin thing, you got at least 20,000 other Bitcoins out there. I mean, me and you, we could start a coin tomorrow. Maybe I'll start a tall Mike coin, a meme coin, if you will. But this digital stuff, it's everywhere. You can get that. The physical stuff, not so much, man. Not so much. The gold, the silver, the real stuff, the real hard money, getting hard to find. People don't have it. Less than 1% of the general population have any of it. Look, if you're a stacker, you're way ahead of the game. You're going to be fine because the reset's going to happen, right? I mean, there are problems out there, big problems, and it's going to result in lack of confidence. Everybody's just going to lose confidence in the system, right? Nobody's going to want dollars anymore around the world. They don't want the dollars anymore. I mean, that's very fascinating to me. They want gold. They're buying it hand over fist. They're getting that gold in the central banks. That's growing. That's becoming a bigger part. It used to be like 2%. Then it was 5%. Then it was 10%. Now it's over 20%. Headed to 30% of their reserves is in the gold market. Isn't that fascinating? Why? What do they know? They're a little bit smarter than us. They're on the inside. They know that confidence is lost. They know they're going to have to restore the confidence. The only way to do that, in my opinion, is with the gold market. But if you got a better way, I know you Bitcoiners think they can restore it with Bitcoin, but they're not buying any Bitcoin. Central bankers don't want that stuff. They want the physical. Look, there's other physical things also. Look, I'm a real estate broker. That's physical, right? If you own the house free and clear, it's a good thing. But if you have a debt on that house, it might drop below your mortgage, right? And then it's not such a good thing. Then you're going to become the forced seller that don't want it. You don't want to see that happen. I think real estate's got a lot of downside left in it. We'll see how that plays out. But yes, I love real estate because it's a physical asset. It's real. You want to get into the real thing. You can look at the real things. I mean, they're just exploding, right? Palladium, boom. Platinum, boom. Gold, boom. Silver, boom. Anything you can get your hands on, boom. Price is going up on the real stuff, because that's what people want. You can stay in the dollar. Look, you can stay there. I got no problem with that. Keep your money in the banks. Those banks are not safe either, right? They got big problems. I mean, they don't talk about that anymore. You think the banking crisis has already been solved. I mean, we had Silicon Valley Bank, what was that, 2 years ago now? No problem, right? That's all fixed. Well, believe me, every bank was doing the exact same thing. When you see bank mergers, and you're going to see a lot more of them, I've already seen them. I used to have 2 banks. Now they became 1 bank, right? They merged together. Why? Because one of them was in trouble. It was U.S. Bank, Union Bank. All of a sudden there's just 1 bank now. So I don't have the 2 banks to go to because one of them was in trouble, got bought out. It's kind of like a shotgun wedding. You're going to buy them out because they're in trouble. Look at the FDIC does not have the money to give you. There's going to be a bail-in at the banks. It's going to be a bail-in, not a bailout. A bailout's where the taxpayer pays the money, right? Well, it's this is going to be too big for the taxpayer to pay the money. That's why they're going to have to take your deposits. They're going to take 20, 30, 40, 50% of them. Maybe if it gets real bad, they might take all your deposits. It's going to be shocking. A lot of people don't see this coming. I get it. This is the good times, right? Look at the stock market. We're in these fabulous times. But this is a shift. It's a shift. It's a dynamic shift. It's the calm before the storm. You will see it pretty soon. It's going to be obvious to everybody. It's not just going to be obvious to Tall Mike and all the people that watch Tall Mike. And if you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. Punch that subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.